afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything amazing Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Psych, Defender of the Fatherland, off here to a 1 vs 1 on Crossroads. In the north, it's Jove, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 21st Panzer Division west and south, it is Treadz, fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth. Rolling out here with the Guards Armour Division, we got Jaeger Infantry, we got Spearhead and Jaeger Armour with Triple Infantry versus Royal Engineer, Royal Artillery and Advanced Emplacements with Triple Infantry sections. Grenadiers MG42s there for Jove, double sections here for Treadz. Basil being very upset in the background. Pioneers being westwards, backed up with MG42 Grenadiers, got halfway done here for Jove. And Deutschland. As Treadz moves aggressively eastwards, aggressively is moving steadily eastwards there with the sections. Third one on the way there, pretty standard British start. Then similarly for Jove, very much standard Wehrmacht start. No deviations, no surprises, no unexpected movements. Third section almost done there. We'll have to see which doctrines will then move in. Jove slightly less useful at the moment. I mean, Jaeger Armour, Spearhead and Jaeger Infantry, while in some ways all reasonably good doctrines, except maybe Jaeger Armour, I mean, just don't see a lot of usage compared with German infantry, mechanized assault, lightning war, and such. But, you know, well, like Jaeger Infantry is probably one of the more popular ones, but, you know, still not one I've seen a lot recently. Second list going all the way there for Jove. Got the eastern fuel pioneers laying down sandbags. Very good work there. Westward movement here as well from Treadz. Jove's current point on the west, sandbags down. Universal following up there for Treadz. Also very much standard opening. Now the Grenadiers got what they're done for Jove. MG42 setting up here. Grab the centre point, and we got Grenadiers moving eastwards as well for Jove. Sandbags also as well by the victory point. Nothing here in the west though from Treadz as the section moves ahead all alone and unattended, unsupported. Universal care though is almost done. Grenadiers moving eastwards here. No MG42 support here. The MG42 is far west here for Jove. We shall see what comes next. More machine guns, most likely not. Most likely, in fact, Grenadiers or maybe a mortar. So we'll see. We shall see here. Well, I suppose there's an option for a sniper here for Jove. Second running up, hissing in through the gaps and going for the carve point. Third gun is one for Jove, and certainly the push for the carve point is going to be quite effective for Treadz. And right now, Jove is on the sides of the map. He's got absolutely nothing in his centre, so that's a very strong move there by Treadz versus Jove. And even then, his forces engaged in these. We've got the Universal Care backing things further up, so this could get a bit dicey for Jove. And the 21st Panzer to be shown here. Section taking losses though from all the Grenadiers, holding up in light however they can, just overwhelming the section with pure firepower. Got the Universal moving up there, centre point there with sandbags as well here for Treadz. Got the carve point here. MG42 Pioneers moving on this side from the other side as well for Jove and Germany. Grenadiers are taking non-losses from the Universal Care. Oh! Bit of a mistake there, I think, by Treadz, wasn't paying attention, and got Panzerfaust there. That's a definite win here for Jove. He actually finish it off here with another Panzerfaust, and he does. Big tactical error here, but Treadz usually want to keep it a bit safer distance here, but he's too preoccupied, I think, with around the carve point, allowing Jove an opportunity to then take it out with double Panzerfaust. That's a big win there since Treadz had just upgraded it, so that's a lot of resources down the drain. So very nice there by Jove, but let's go there for Treadz. He still, of course, got 4 sections, which is still very much a force to be reckoned with and not something here that Jove should be taking lightly, but getting rid of the Universal Care there is going to be a huge help for Jove in sort of dealing with the infantry sections. Grenadiers on the far from the sections moving up there. Aggressively treading in, they got machine gun ring up to back up, forcing their Treadz to run more aggressively and expose themselves a bit more to fire from Jove's Grenadiers while forced away, but then again they're in a bad spot. They could risk getting wiped out here, but then again M42 might just be able to set up in time here to suppress them, and close one there, but not quite. Grenadiers here by the southern fuel point there. Now defending section, the Dick gets suppressed in the end. Push up the west side here. Treadz is playing some good flexibility in the battlefield, not just getting too focused on one point, but is easily able to shift axis of attack against the opponent, just shift the weight of it. Very good, very good. Thumbs up there to Treadz. Section charging in there, but they alone help. They're getting pressure, but so are Jove's infantry here. Section routed. Still, it should be a bit difficult now for Jove to hit these. And again, going for the carve point and the fuel point at the same time. Sandbags up here. Good attack there by Treadz. Mostly a skirmish assault, I would say. But, you know, hits 2 valuable points. It makes it a bit harder there for Jove to just move forces from here to there, for example. So it's a bit of a trip why he can be used to sort of successfully stall. Section here, they're taking damage. Looks like he might actually try and flank behind the machine gun, try and force it away there. Bold move there. Take up down for Treadz. As for Jove, we do have tech up, but there's no light mechanized company. And there goes section folding, pushed off the fuel point. But now it's got the other one. And there you go, protecting the rear. Jove there moving the machine gun head gun least mark to deal with this. No machine guns yet here for Jove and Germany. And no sign of a doctor in there for either player. They are both remaining with their cards close to themselves, not revealing them to their opponents. Or us, bastards. Section versus Grenadiers here. Section will be able to get into cover fast and then have the overall, I think, long-term advantage of the Grenadiers unless something else appears. So there you go. While they are low on health, the Grenadiers are quickly being bled dry here. Oh, apparently RNG was not in favour there, and neither was Treadz confidence in the section. Moving up there, we got the bolster up here for Treadz as well. That's definitely going to be a problem there for Jove as well, since of course that means they have more firepower, more durability. That is going to be quite unpleasant to deal with, and is very much common British strategy. By now, and we got the first doctrine. It is Jaeger Infantry for Jove, G43s, Ambush Camouflage, Jaeger Command Squad, and we got Panzer Grenadiers for Jove. Lovely. And certainly Panzer Grenadiers versus the section can work out. If you can sort of get them in the proper range, they can usually beat the section. Though, of course, even bolster there is going to be a bit tricky, but still on average. And in this case, he's using Ambush Camouflage, which is ultimately quite effective. In this case, you can actually set up ambushes to catch the section at a good range and then just mow them down with ambush Panzer Grenadiers if he actually goes that far. But even then, an ambush machine gun is actually pretty good. Bunker up there in the west bit of skirmishing here as he tries to reclaim the fuel. Note, by the way, he's not going straight for the fuel. He's actually circling behind, trying to go for the car front first, maybe hit a weaker spot there. But in this case, though, Treadz did have a section there ready to actually meet this advance. AC on the way there for Treadz. Jove there without any light vehicle counters, except maybe the Panzer Grenadiers, and he's got knockout missions for that. In particular, now he's upgrading medic bunkers and ambush camouflage. Could have gone for Panther 6, so he's going to have to go for a Pack 40, or I guess try and ignore it, which would be really ballsy. I'll note again, ambush camouflage in the Panzer Grenadiers, and it is surprisingly effective. Again, it's not something you think about a lot, but the thing to keep in mind about ambush camouflage is how it works is it gives them an accuracy bonus once they sort of pop the ambush. And the thing is, on weapons with high rates of fire, that's really effective. That's why the MG42 is really good with it, but just unupgraded Grenadiers aren't. And similarly, Panzer Grenadiers, because their assault rifles fire off a lot of bullets, can actually really benefit from the ambush camouflage bonus. So, set up correctly, they can really ruin your opponent. So in this case, he's clearly banking on Treadz trying to go for the cop on him again. At that point, he then sort of springs the ambush and hoses them down. So sneaky play there by Jove, very sneaky but effective. MG42 repositioning. Section pushing up here, Grenadiers doing what they can to deal with it. May want to pop the rifle grenade there. AC moving westwards here for Treadz as well. And there you go, going for the calf point. Will Joe be able to handle this? Will he be able to manage it? Will he be able to spring the trap in time? Ooh, bun grenade. But on the other hand, when you sort of deselect the ambush, or the hold fire button bar weight, they don't actually get the bonus like you have to hold them to then attack if all of them to hold fire directly, in which case I'd recommend pressing it and then clicking so they don't actually misclick. They don't just suddenly begin running out of it. So, a little bit of advice there. I've learned the hard way. But anyway, still, the bun grenade though did the job anyways and landed a wipe there on Treadz. Very good. So it shows again, but even without the first strike bonus, it's still pretty good. If you can sort of pop a grenade at the right time. We got a second one out for Jove. Double Panzer Grenadiers again. Note, he at this point knows the AC is out there, but he's so far at least not caring. That's a very bold strategic move there by Jove. Very bold strategic move indeed. You see them moving up and putting pressure on Jove, almost getting a Grenadier squad there on the retreat. Is he actually going to try? Oh, he gets it! Holy smokes! Was there just attack ground and just had a good idea of how units retreat here? Because again, most units will use a certain point, so like if you've played a lot, I mean you can sort of guess what it is and he just got lucky. I don't know. Oh, that was kind of impressive though in a scary way. Sappers on the way there for Treadz. Panzer moving up against the section. You can see that up close. The Panzer Grenadiers, even against bolted section, has an advantage thanks to the assault rifles and the good DPS at close to mid range. You see moving in with the damaged engine. Troops are setting out here, westwards most likely, and again ambush camouflage there from Jove. Heading for the car pump of the AC nearby. The Panzer Grenadiers might not have as easy a time of it as they want. And we got the Jaeger command squad as well here. Jove really adding in some infantry heavy elements. Savage charging into the set. In the end, the Panzer Grenadiers have to retreat. They're simply in a bad spot thanks to the AC. They're on the one side and the sappers on the other. There's no way he could, win that one. pushing in. He's doing a bit cautiously. He's also, again, noting hitting the car point first, so that way his opponents are denied fuel no matter what else happens. Back at base, nothing further happening there. Panzer's there once more, ready to ambush any Tommies, any Inslaffen, and hose them down. Victory points wise, we do note that Joe's been much better there, keeping the victory points under control. Whereas Treadz, though, while he's been otherwise, I would say, good hit against Jove, has been, I think, struggling a bit to keep focus on the victory points, which is very much the advantage of Jove, of course, if things go wrong. Or if he managed to, stage a larger comeback here as his opponent. But so far, he's handling things quite nicely, and he's not really going for any counters to the AC so far. He doesn't seem particularly intimidated by it, which is certainly quite impressive. Another push for the cop, and we've got Sappers nearby with the section as well. Jaeger command squad there already routed back, got 1 kill so far. Sappers against the Gundies to start the house, not a good spot there for the Gundies to fight from. Panzer Gundies then continue just in their ambush mode. Other squad moving in, they have also been upgraded with ambush camouflage. So far, no sign of Panzerstrecks here, the Raketen Panzerbuchse for Jove. Not very often you see that, but again it seems like Jove just doesn't care about it. Oh, don't worry, it's just a British armoured car. What's the worst you can do? Kill some of our men? Ah, the Germans. There you go, little ambush there. Took out some of the men there, nice work. Jove is actually gaining good map control in part thanks to some good plays and good use of the Panzer Grenadiers. And of course the other infantry as well. Quite impressive. Section holding up against a big push here from Jove's infantry. And there you go, using sprint and pulling up on grenade. Oh, sneaky. He was basically baiting them into retreating, and then he would have caught them in retreat there. Sneaky play there by Jove, but Treadz this time around though had seen through it and managed to avoid, well, utter ruination there. Since otherwise, if that had gone out the right place again, he could have probably lost those 2 sections. Loading up brain guns out here for Treadz, and he's beginning to switch westwards. Again, realising the east side here might not be looking too good here versus Jove. And the 21st Panzer Division, which is aggressively advancing. 6-pounder gun here for sapper support there, setting out westwards, or back here, troops reinforcing healing. And further west, men moving out there. No tech up yet for Treadz, and no sign of a doctrine either. Jove is taking up on the other hand. There we go, Panzer guns there. Versus the section, took a minor loss, still sections out in the open, then heavy cover, but then again, 2 sections with the Bren guns versus Panzer Grenadiers at that range is not exactly fatal for Joe's Panzer Grenadiers. This is kind of a preferred, somehow set up in a good ambush position that way and sort of catch them when they get a bit closer. Anyways, take-up almost done, so Joe so far is handling his opponent quite nicely. Machine gunner waiting for any Tommies to move too close and then hose them. Panzer gun is moving westward or back, moving up westwards. Getting ready for another push eastwards here. Treadz has not given up on that part. Sappers there, those suppressed by the MD42, revealing its nasty little position. Grenadiers holding up their light machine to start the house back in. I think they're going on there for Treadz. Grenadiers versus section here. Section out in the open with no cover means the Grenadiers will have a reasonably easy time here thanks to their MG42 and their veterancy. Grenadiers holding up here. Also ambush camouflage, by the way. Also the no upgrade, but he actually prioritizes, it seems like in this case, the ambush over anything else. So again, on regular upgraded Grenadiers, the bonus isn't that big because they do lack the DPS. It's not bad, but it's just not as effective. Oh! Terramine goes off. The AC is abandoned. That's a bit of a blow there to Treadz. Definite win there for Jove. In the west here, Panzer was attacking the section, surrounding them slowly. Very nice play by Jove. The section there getting filled with lead here as 2 assault rifle squads. They just plaster them with bullets, forcing a rout there for Treadz. He's got double section has gone to the Jaegers. Shots being fired back and forth here. And Treadz goes for Royal Artillery and calls in the Valentine tank here to quickly form up a counter-attack force to push back Joe with. And we got artillery called in as well. It looks like on the machine gun he's calling in the 25-pounder gun. Ooh, rough grenade. Don't do too much as we heavy cover, of course. And the MG42 gets slaughtered here by Treadz artillery. Joe, meanwhile, is going for tier 4. Wow, he just does not care. He is just skipping tier 3 to go straight for tier 4 without any anti-tank. Except that one telemine. I mean, that's unusual for sure. I mean, he still's got the Treadz containing Treadz needs to do some, I think, hard work here to push back Jove, but I mean, it's kind of impressive here. And there you go, Heavy Panzer Corps going out for Jove, like to be able to push out a Panther recently fast or a Sturmpanzer. Treadz is going to need more anti-tank weapons. He's bringing up at least 1 6-pounder gun. Long term, he definitely will want some armor here versus Jove. And the 21st Panzer Division. Heavy Panzer Corps almost done there. Machine gun crew here, they're giving Treadz a bit more firepower versus Jove. Big 2 points whilst they're still low again. While he's been able to control the resource a bit better, I think, in some ways than Jove. Though not perhaps quite as good as watching to get partly against just due to the sheer size of the map and the extra points it has on it. But you know, big 2 points wise, he's definitely been lagging a bit behind, and that's clearly also something that Jove has been exploiting quite eagerly against Treadz. There we go, Jove is coming into the Panther. The Panzerkampfwagen 5 getting off here. Dodged. Nice work there. Bounce coming up in the retreat path. Might try and get a wipe here on Jove's Grenadiers. And he gets it. Quite a few losses there for Jove. And his otherwise been against both strategy. I mean, he's getting a roughly 16-17 minute Panther, which is reasonably early, to be honest. Getting some replacement Grenadiers, not more Panther Grenadiers. There goes Sex into the ambush Panther Grenadiers. Up close and ugly, and they are taking quite a bit of damage here. Certainly not a good effective range to be up with against the Panther Grenadiers. So nice work there by Jove. They probably should reposition the Panther Grenadiers so it doesn't say begin bombarding that point. And Panther's right about done here for Jove. Back here, troops healing, reinforcing, take out for Treadz. Very good. The fuel wise, he's not quite an easy time here. And there you go, Panzerkampfwagen 5 Gefechtsbereit here for Jove and the 21st Panzer Division. Adding the Pendle Mountain machine gun. Looks like Treadz tank crews out for T, which was actually a bit of a problem. In fact, that's kind of one of the reasons why they got absolutely clobbered at Villers-Bocage. Most of the crews were out having a nice time with T. In fact, most of the half-life casualties were caused outside of the tanks. So, little fun fact there. That might have been one of the reasons they began after the war, including, brewing elements to actually heat up T inside of the tanks. Anyway, section here was the Jaeger Infantry. Panther moving ahead here, pinning up machine almost done. We also got a mortar here for Jove, so good, so good. We can see a Treadz is certainly getting battlefield. There you go again. Panther Grenadier ambush there. Ambush camouflage, planting grenades off as well. Disrupting Treadz advance here. Absolutely excellent stuff here by Jove. Slowing down here the advance for Treadz, giving more time to get forces over here. Maybe just causing some extra damage. Very good. Reconnecting the eastern fuel there to German supply lines. Straight ahead into the 6-pounder gun, directed here, but bounces off the Panther's armor. Valentine shoots, penetrates the side armor. But Valentine tank is going to be pursued by the Panther, and he's also managed to set up himself in a position where he can't easily escape the Panther. So that was less well done there. Nice hit, anti-tank trying to keep up pace, and there you go, good hit. Valentine though is cooked up here, brewed up. Trying to get away here, and successfully pulls off as Treadz couldn't get close enough for the Sapson anti-tank grenade and fires some of the Piet rockets, so that's a bit unfortunate. Or missiles, I guess, rockets, requires some stuff. And it's back here, troops reinforcing, healing. No sign yet of any armor. He's a bit short on fuel there against Jove, and big 2 points wise, it's still looking favored for Jove. Jaeger versus section here, 6-pounder gun number 2 on the way there for Treadz to help deal with Jove's Panzerkampfwagen 5, Pride of the Fatherland. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers setting out. And Pioneers moving up there to fix the Panther. And there you go, second 6-pounder gun out for Treadz. Machine gun caught here by the Grenadiers. Panzer was then easily routed. Good play there by Jove. And those are close to virtually free, at least closing in on it. Mortar fire raining down as well here in the east. Big counter push here by Treadz. Several sections, all of Bren guns quickly routing Jove's unprepared grenadiers. And the Jaeger infantry could very quickly follow here in the wake of Treadz's big push. And the tank is being hauled up to back it up as well. And there you go, Jaeger's rapidly retreating. Has no intention of tangling there with the Treadz and most of the British army. 436 with 227. Sneaking about, seizing points in the far west. Barely cheeky. Secondly caught by the punches again, the ambush using the AC there against Treadz. Very nice, very nice. And ends up being retreated though. Probably a bit too worried about all the sections with the Bren guns. Treadz keeping the advantage to get the anti-tankers closer to support the sections since they're going to be the most exposed at the moment. Most likely to draw attention here from Jove and his Panzerwaffe. Panthers running about. Troops is not really doing much there for Treadz. Gonna do is once more unleash the ambush there. Almost got the centre one, almost got the fuel point in the east, at least slowly getting there.
The capture point is being overrun.
Well, I'd suspect Treadz is going to end up going for a Firefly to help counter the Panther. There you go, double anti-tanks through, easily piercing the armour here of the Panther this time around. Punching several large holes. Second volley though, all failed to penetrate the Panther's armour, so that was less impressive. Beastie got the section of the Grenadiers, so lots of Grenadiers with also the command squad packing up, and there you go, eventually Fleenies to retreat that section. They're simply being outgunned here by the Germans. Brutally so. And there you go, roughing it off, and there you go, the retreat happening there for Treadz. Sturmpanzer halfway done there for Jove.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take one of our points.
6-pound guns a bit spread out there so they don't easily get out of maneuver by just say one Panther. And just circle straight and up here, Grenadiers versus the section. Quickly routed. Stretch the funding a bit more on the defensive versus Jove once more. Back here, Panther being repaired. Sturmpanzer 4 is almost done. Section and sappers are advancing. And straight into the MD-42 there, routed by Treadz's men. Come down to 418. Cromwell on the way there for Treadz. He's relying on the anti-tank guns and whatever Piet he's got here to deal with a Panther. But in the end, he's getting out tanks faster, which of course is certainly not a bad idea either. Sturmpanzer rolling ahead, adding the Pinelman machine gun. There goes straight to the anti-tank guns. Shot fired. Section takes some damage, but no casualties. Oh, several penetrating hits in the Sturmpanzer 4. Still doesn't end his kill there. It does some damage, but all of Treadz's men then actually survived that encounter, even if they might be wishing they didn't. West side there we got section moving up, hauling Bren guns forward to deal with the Germans, and there you go, Panther moves forwards, anti-tank is heading right westwards. Of course, I could leave the centre exposed here to the Sturmpanzer pushing forwards. Cromwell was done. Note while he's trying to flank about here, threatening the retreat path of the Panther. Nice play there by Treadz. Looks like Jove hasn't realised what's going on. Plus with the anti-tank is bringing up. There we go. Penetrating hit. I think he made it too slow to cut off. There we go. Anti-tank grenade off, and Piet fires well. Damage engine in the Panther. Got the Cromwell moving up here, going for the Sturmpanzer. He's going for the Panther with the rest of his forces. A bold move here by Treadz. Almost got the Sturmpanzer there. Could be a grievous blow there to Jove and the German army. There you go. Sturmpanzer 4 kaput. British tank knocked it out, and he could theoretically try and flank the Panther, then backed up with the Pioneers, and then try and take out the Panther as well. And I think that's exactly what Treadz is planning here, delivering a double blow there to Jove and Deutschland. If he can pull it off, of course. Looks like he may not be able to do so. Sending in the Cromwell there alone without any support versus the Panther. Misses up close. That's definitely a bit awkward. Still got the anti-tank and he gets it. And then he did take up both Sturmpanzer and the Panther, losing under Cromwell. So in that sense, it's not too bad there for Treadz. But Joe still has a lot of the map, and those Panther Grenadiers are definitely doing some hard work there for the German army. The Jaeger command squad is also doing its part, for sure. Big infantry skirmishing machine in the west.
Capture point is being overrun.
All sorts of small arms going off here. Oh dear, sections are bunked up, and there you go. Jove sees them. Oh, misses with the rifle grenade. That's got to be a bit awkward. Up north here, section is going to leave. Sappers need to retreat. Section about to get wiped out. Likely will be dying and retreat here as Jove's bringing up everything, and there you go. Another section down for Treadz. Bit of a blow here.
Cut our supply line.
Bit of a blow. We'll have to see how it does next. And again, fuel-wise, Jove's been able to very effectively execute a strategy of just denying Treadz a lot of fuel. So that's definitely not helping Treadz out either, as he can't really keep up pace. Or push his advantage when he has it. Looks like Joe was able to reclaim the machine gun once more.
We're losing a capture point.
Sappers routed. Simply no chance of them surviving any engagement there with Jove. Grabbing the eastern fuel point. Panzer Grenadiers there waiting in ambush mode. Northern moving forwards there for Jove and Deutschland. Section and a vacancy machine gun there for Treadz. 400 versus 180. Six-pound gun on fire from the MG42, adding ambush camouflage on that again. Very good, very good. In fact, I think at this point he may have upgraded. Yeah, all of the units that can be upgraded with ambush camouflage have been upgraded with ambush camouflage. So thumbs up there to Jove. That's definitely not something you see every day. But again, ambush camouflage is actually a genuinely really good ability. Again, I'm surprised not more players using it. When actually let's go for Dobson that has it, they just never use it, but there you go. Machine gun being flanked here for the section again. The lack of grenades that prevents everything from getting a fast wipe here on the machine gun. Otherwise, we could have stolen that back again in turn once against Jove, in this case the lack of grenades rather precludes that little option. Securing the eastern side, moving up the west side here, but we got grenadiers ready, we got the mortars also. Panzers there waiting in ambush. Oh dear, and we got another ambush here, taking out a full section. Treadz was not ready, but Joe was. Nice work there by Joe. Suddenly again, highline just a good. You can just lure in sections that else, want to be up, range up close. In this case, just landed a wipe, and he got another wipe up here again, thanks to the Panzer Grenadiers and ambush. Really, just showing how absolutely effective it can be. Sent on away for Treadz. I feel like he's feeling the pressure of all of Jove's infantry and wants to get a hard counter. And here we go. Section's actually losing the Panzer Grenadiers because then heavy cover the section isn't even at long range because they actually do pack quite a punch there. So that's a series of very unpleasant developments there for Treadz and the British Army as all of a sudden Jove just strikes from the shadows and he strikes hard. So right now Treadz has suffered severe casualties, and while he's been able to do some damage to Jove, Jove has been able to mitigate casualties quite nicely, and thanks to ambush camouflage, been able to dictate a lot of the fights here and there, making things a lot more comfortable for Treadz. Troops healing reinforcing, Centaur almost down there for Treadz. Panther is almost done, and there you go. Section versus the Panzer Grenadier. Chance that already drops there. They're just at the near side of the Germans almost, it seems like. Though, of course, it did get shot. There we go. Panther out. Commanders, they're grabbing the Bren light machine gun. And I think the Jaeger command squad's going to make a run there for the second Bren. And there we go. Another Bren drops. Oh dear, things are just falling apart here for Treadz and the British Army. Centaur moving up and just shreds Jove's infantry. The Grenadiers could go down. Other second hit, but they're taking heavy fire from the Jaegers again, equipped with the Bren gun and the G40 Feast. Oh dear, Panther's moving up here. Section's about to go down. There you go. Another Bren dropped. Oh no. Victory points is definitely taken down here for Treadz as well. He's down to 82. Soon 80 here versus Joe with the 400. I think it's safe to say that Panzer Grenadiers played a pretty solid role here a lot of the time. Of course, so did the Grenadiers and the Jaeger command squad, and I mean overall really good play there in terms of ambush camouflage by Joe. Treadz is not giving up. He still believes in victory for the Commonwealth. Panzer Grenadiers securing the many leftover Bren guns. So now Jove probably has more Bren guns than Treadz does, which is a bit awkward. Centaur's already low and healthy, but still Treadz pushes forward for king and country, for the Commonwealth. He believes in victory. Sexton West was there with Bren guns in hand. He's got plenty of munitions, but could have laid down, I think, more mines. If there's a Jove, that thing would have done Treadz a lot of good. And strange and S-man feel there from Jove. Thumbs up to Jove. 50 points left here for Treadz. The situation is looking particularly dire, particularly grim. 21st Panzer Division is proving to be quite relentless and well equipped now, thanks partly to British equipment. Trying to grab the centre one, but caught here by the machine gun. Centre there being repaired slowly by the sappers. Halfway fixed up. Mortar fire raining down. He couldn't just lay down the smoke. He wanted to with the mortar, to be honest. And I think it also worked out quite nicely. There's some nice hits there. More mines going off. Oh no, he. Oh, that was, I think, some of the wounders set him off. Actually, he's laid down a lot of minefields in the west. Until he called in, here we got the Centaur charging in, but it's right next to the Panther. There's no way this is going to work out for Treadz. 26 points up, and there you go. Game over. 6 pounder guns firing at the Panther. One mortar down. 22 points left. I mean, at this point, it very much seems like GG. I mean, whatever sort of small hope Treadz might have left at this point, I think, is very much gone. Crushed beneath Jove's jackboot. Like so many other things. Posing the section here from the house. Machine guns just laying down accurate lethal fire. And Treadz is just down to a section and a sapper unit. And there you go. GG, game over. A brutal fight here. And I think just highlighting just how effective pantaloons can be. But also just ambush camouflage. Which is only one of the primary reasons I wanted to cast this. Because you so rarely see ambush camouflage. But I do think it's a pretty good ability. So, I mean, there you go. Well played by Jove. Also nicely played there by Treadz, but in the end, again, he sort of struggled to keep up with Jove's aggressive pace. I think misread Jove's strategy a bit there. Also, I think he could have done more with his munitions, more mines and all that. I think in that regard, he might have probably stood a better chance here versus Jove, but instead he just ended up never quite catching up as the game went on. In fact, falling further and further behind as Jove just sort of slowly played course. And of course, those ambush panther is really just allowed to land several crucial hits here, really hurting Treadz and also slowing down at critical moments. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, but don't tell your enemies. Also, big thanks to Eris of Thrace for pledging on Patreon and supporting. He hasn't donated. And of course, if you want to support, you can also pledge on Patreon. You can also just donate for one-time bit of support there. Links in the video description. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you all for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. Hope to see you all tomorrow again for a nice new episode. Bye.